man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy, 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Remington Parkway Golf Course in Toronto. Golf courses are open out there. I love it. David Sanchez, CFL, NFL alum, joins us from the CFL on TSN. Look, I'm smiling. Of course he's smiling.
How about that? Appreciate you guys. During the days, weekdays, sitting around, a lot of us are at home right now, being able to talk CFL midweek on your show. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I've been looking forward to talk to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, away we go on this Tuesday, April the 6th, 2021. We are live, coming to you from the bunker out here in Western Canada. It is Canada's daytime sports talk show, and I will say hi to our American friends. I still don't understand why they like this show so much, but I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth, Dupes. Let's put it that way.
Good.
Yeah. How are you? You should be great.
Flying high, baby.
That's right. Okay, big show today. We've got Major League Baseball assistant coach Tim Leiper. He's now the coordinator of outfields and base running for the San Francisco Giants. And he's going to be joining us from the Valley of the Sun. 5 seasons with the Blue Jays. That's why he's joining us to talk about the Blue Canada's team and get an update from the Valley of the Sun. And also Dustin Forbes. He's the voice of the Lethbridge Hurricanes of the Western Hockey League. I know we've been getting way too bogged down in the sub-dub-hub in the East.
That's right.
There's 3 other divisions going on. So we're going to talk to Dusty Forbes from the Lethbridge Hurricanes. I'm excited about that. How about that?
How about that?
Thank you, Rick Regan, our big voice guy watching in Wichita, Kansas. Listen, Jordan, would you please hit the quick 6 show topics if you don't mind? Please and thank you. I have more than 6 show topics to get to, which is a good thing. There's never, ever a problem with things to talk about today. But the number one thing, and for the new viewers, just so you know, these are of importance to me. They might not entirely be of importance to the sports world. It's of importance to me because it is the Rod Pedersen Show. So today is the 3-year anniversary of the worst day in Saskatchewan history. April 6, 2018 was the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. And so we are pausing to observe the 29 people on that bus who were affected. 16 lost their lives, 13 injured. And if I may, the people that weren't on that bus but still had their lives changed forever, right?
That's right.
It tore a community apart, a franchise changed forever. Just want those folks to know that they're not alone in their grief, and we haven't forgotten them. And, if you go to rodpedersen.com right now, it's my commentary on Cat Country 98 FM today. I posted to the website. In that, we are all Humboldt strong. To point two, Monday NHL leftovers. It was interesting because we were calling a hockey game yesterday in the Dub Hub, so we didn't see a lot of the action. But I can tell you this. Montreal beating Edmonton in overtime was the worst possible result for the Calgary Flames. When you got two teams above you that both pick up points in one game, the worst. And then the Flames go on to lose, 5-3 to the Leafs?
That's right.
So I'm watching our good friend Dave Poulin on SportsCenter saying that you pretty much count out the Calgary Flames right now. 8 points back of a playoff spot. The Habs have, 5 games in hand. They play each other 5 more times. But it's unbelievable what's going on with the Calgary Flames. They are 2-9 in their last 11 under Darryl Sutter. This is not a flame-bashing day at all. But how about rise up, Montreal Canadiens? Mark Bergevin, Eric Stahl scores the OT winner in his debut. You're thinking the same thing, right?
Right.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking at that Montreal team. He got Josh Anderson for an underperforming Max Domi, signed Corey Perry for nothing. He gets Eric Stahl in a trade from Buffalo, and he fired a coach when he realized things weren't going that well. And it looks like they're going to be coming in hot into the playoffs.
Not a team I'd want to play.
No, there have been other really great GM jobs in the NHL this year, but I'm just acknowledging Mark Bergevin with the Montreal Canadiens. He's been fantastic. Point 3, as I said earlier, Moose wins the bracket. This guy beat all the Americans and a few of us Canucks in the Philly Enterprise, the Enterprise Sports podcast bracket out of Philadelphia. He won it all. Have you figured out yet how many thousands you're winning?
I haven't. No, I haven't. It's not about the money, Rod.
Yes, it is.
I know
it's
it is.
entirely about the money. Don't lie to me.
It was fun. I missed the beginning of the game.
How?
Well, we were wrapping up our broadcast, and you get home and change and make some supper, and then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, got to get settled in for the game. And I look, it's 23-8. Yeah. So I started dancing around that, and then I was locked in the rest of the night, but watching that game and kind of flipping back and forth with hockey. But, they played well. Now, did I know that coming in? I mean, I had the final, but, it was – I watched 2 minutes of college basketball all year.
I was telling people, I'm like, Darren doesn't know college basketball. None of us do, okay?
The guys at the rink were saying that they're as I'm walking in to do the little COVID check at the rink yesterday, they're like, you're going to quit hockey now, NCAA insider? I'm like, probably not.
Well, I say this. I came home from the hockey game, and my wife was watching the pregame show. You know she's a hoops aficionado.
Right.
I'm like, oh, well, this is going to be easy. Right? Don't need to convince her to watch the March Madness men's final. Yeah. The only thing was we're watching it, and she's like, who's this color guy? Because Dickie V is going, awesome, baby. I'm like, it's Dickie V. It's Dick Vitale.
How do you not?
He's bigger than both teams on the floor. So anyways, you never would have had to crack a sweat last night because they never trailed the entire game. Way to go, Baylor Bears. We've got a hack of the Quick Six show topics from Nelson Hackowich, our VP of Sim Events. He says, I'm here. Where did it go? Where did it go? He says, I'm here for the CFL XFL news that you teased at the end of yesterday. Well, I figured a lot of you would be. I went off the air yesterday saying that I just got a message from a CFL insider saying that he's going to give me all the deets on the CFL XFL talks. And so he just dropped a little bit, but he said, I'll know more in a couple of days. What you need to know is that what's behind this is MLSE. And he said, listen, don't quote me too much on this until I have more details. But he said, with everybody going nuts at Ambrosie, everybody going nuts at The Rock, he goes, if anybody's mad or if you want to know who's behind it, it's MLSE, which is basically what David Naylor's been dropping on Twitter and on the podcast interviews and everything that he's done. MLSE, for whatever reason, is wagging the dog of the CFL XFL collaboration / merger. So we've just diverted the quick six to jump into that because that wasn't in my quick six and probably should have been. Is that necessarily groundbreaking news that MLSE's behind this?
No.
It is. It's noteworthy.
It is for sure.
Yeah.
You know, that if they're the ones driving the conversation, then yeah, absolutely, it is noteworthy. But we talked about MLSE being the ones who are going to swoop in and save the league. Noteworthy that I didn't see it happening this way.
Right.
They were going to pull the strings and bring two other people together, but hey, it works all the same.
You knew that MLSE was some way going to be involved in the next version of the CFL, and he just said it. This is the way that I guess that it's being envisioned. So I think the thing is, people are running off in a lot of different directions, including us, wanting answers, wanting to know details, and it's just that Ambrosie and The Rock probably don't even have them. Maybe you should go ask the top towers of the people at MLSE. But again, I'll have more details coming available here in the next couple of days, according to my source, who is as good as they get. I'm getting to your comments. I see what people want to talk about. I just want to say topic 4 of the quick six here in the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace is that Connor Bedard's point streak ended last night, but it came with incredible drama. The next one, and his Regina Pats taking on the Moose Jaw Warriors. They blew a 3-0 lead in the sub-dub hub and lost 4-3 in a shootout to the Moose Jaw Warriors. Bedard never got a point in regulation or overtime, but then he scored in the shootout. And I'm a little disappointed. Nobody realized or saw that I was honoring Harnaran Singh with my call. Connor Bedard! Thanks, Clark. Clark yells, nobody else noticed. I was paying homage to Harnaran Singh, and nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed. I noticed. I was sitting next to you. We made this awkward eye contact in the middle of the call.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Oh, yeah, because I went for a long time on it. So anyways, the streak ends, even though he scored in the shootout. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Toronto Blue Jays winning at the Texas Rangers 6-2, and we're going to talk to Tim Leiper about this tremendous start for the Blue Jays coming up in the next block. They are 3-1 for the first time since 2015 to start a season, and they went on to win the pennant that year, if you recall. Point 6, I have 40,000 fans in Texas. I see John Kirby in Edmonton writes in, he says, I want to hear Rod's take on Texas filling the MLB stadium yesterday. What's my take? I didn't mind it. I saw people going just absurd on social media over the fact that the Texas Rangers filled the ballpark. What do you think? I have a different take now than what I had a year ago when the world ground to a stop? Look, I don't want to get the virus. I don't want it. I think that I would survive if I got it. I don't think it's life-altering for me. But if I had a choice, I wouldn't want to get it. But there's a lot of us that feel that a couple things. It would be nice to have a choice in your own life how you want to deal with this rather than have it dictated to you. And that's the difference between America and Canada. Finally, the governments in some states just put the people's lives in their own hands and said, you decide. In Canada, that hasn't been the case. That's one. I'd like to see the choice being made up to us, but that's not the case, and I live in Canada, and if I had a bigger problem with it, I would move to America. Right? 2, I would like to think sports could be played, if it's played safely, that we could play. The SJHL spent all these months coming up with a way to play, played safely, and then got the drain yanked on them by the government, and none of us understand why that happened. I think that's unfair. But I live in this country that, while I think that the COVID restrictions are way overboard, I don't think that the government's acted irresponsibly in terms of keeping its citizens safe. That's their mandate. And as far as the mental health thing, that is on us, I guess, to deal with it. But I'm wearing a mask. You haven't seen me at any anti-mask rallies. I'm keeping 6 feet. And for God's sake, in the Dub Hub, where we call the games with the Pats, where it's an unbelievable privilege to be able to go in there and call games and be active in sports right now, I'm not going to sit and slam the government or anything. So I don't feel what they did in Texas was irresponsible of the fans to go. Those fans have the choice to go. And the people that are concerned about what would happen with the virus if they got it or spreading it, they have the ability to stay home. It's that simple to me. What was your take on them filling the ballpark in Texas?
I was incredibly optimistic that, you know what, the more test events that we have, the more places around the world that are starting to open up. And it is a risk. You know, I think it's a big risk. COVID might go crazy in Texas when you start having these really big mass gatherings. But you know what? Let's let them test it out. We'll watch from afar. And if it doesn't turn into mass spreading of the variants of the virus, then I'm going to be a lot more comfortable that we can open things up here, right? So I'm like, hey, this is great because you try it out, see how it works, and then we'll be able to react and take that information. So it's optimistic for sure. Again, I'd be going and wearing my mask likely because I want to be a part of it, and I'm very comfortable with what I've done to not catch it, just like I do every year with the flu, right? I wash my hands before I eat anything. Don't put mom always says, you know, get your fingers out of your mouth. So I've learned all those tools. No, I think it's exciting. I do.
That they opened it up.
Yeah, I do. I think it's exciting.
So our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, would you go to a sporting event right now? Period. Whether it's America, whether it's Canada. Would you go? If they opened up the stadium down the street here at Mosaic Stadium and say, hey, we've decided COVID's over and we're going to open it up and the Riders are going to play this weekend. Can you believe the results? On Twitter, 61% of people saying yes, they would go right now. What's it on Facebook? I think it's a little more even.
56% say yes.
Yeah.
So right now it's the majority, not the massive majority, but the majority would say that they would go.
So think about that for a second. That's giving people the choice. Now, I see Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in. He says, the U.S. has high vaccination rates. We don't. That's the difference right now. Exactly. That's the point. But there's also, 50,000 deaths in Texas, too, by the way. Not everybody has a vaccination. And by the way, this is the crappy thing about where sports and news intersect, because I would prefer to not be talking about these things. But everybody wanted to know my opinion on it. To reiterate, I believe the Canadian COVID controls have been too overly precautious, and it's hurt a lot of things. And the people that are now jumping up and down and are mad at me for that, it's about overwhelming hospitals. It's about being safe. Why isn't the government protecting us? They have zero regard for the economy, and that's fine too. Is there not enough room in your cranium to accept another opinion? Because I accept yours, I'm following it. And that's the problem, is nobody wants to listen. I'm right. You know, that's it. I said to the guys that I would bring up, that's the 6 topics, but I got more. Sam Darnold, I would rather hear from a New York Jets fan, which is, by the way, Colin in Ottawa, one of our regular P1s. I want to know what he thinks about Sam Darnold being traded to the Carolina Panthers for 3 draft choices. He's a tremendous quarterback with the garbage franchise of the National Football League since he came in a couple of years ago. Sam Darnold, he's going to get new life in Carolina. It's very evident that the New York Jets are opening the door with a number 2 overall pick. Who knows who they're going to take? Sounds like the BYU kids who they're going to take, not Justin Fields, because we all know Trevor Lawrence is going number 1. But the Jets failed Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold didn't fail the Jets. He's probably the happiest guy in the world right now.
I would think so. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity for him. But there's also an incredible amount of pressure because now, you know, he goes from being what was supposed to be the savior in New York, and he's now got this second opportunity. And if he doesn't get some help and, you know, show some on-field success, some growth, then he might get relegated and not be that high-valued Tier 1 quarterback that we think he's going to grow into or hope that he's going to grow into. But you look at that draft, I mean, Jacksonville 1, the Jets 2, and now San Francisco 3, all in need of quarterbacks. It'll be really interesting to see what happens, you know, leading up to the draft.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, I don't know that you can go with any mock drafts because I just Googled right now, 2021 NFL mock draft. They got Trevor Lawrence, number 1 at Jacksonville. That's a slam dunk. They got Zach Wilson, BYU, to the Jets at number 2. And now with the 49ers, do you want to take a stab with who they're projecting? This is CBS Sports, who the Niners will take number 3?
A different quarterback, right?
Mac Jones of Alabama.
Yeah. So
Justin Fields not even in the conversation in this mock draft. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I've seen Justin Fields at number 2. I've seen Justin Fields at 22 in the mock drafts. So Yeah, it's all about what you think for fit, for scheme, for work ethic, how you're going to project these guys. Because now Justin Fields' work ethic's been called into question, right? And we all know Tom Brady's work ethic is what made him a Hall of Famer when he was a 6th-round draft pick. The work ethic can really make or break your career. So now they're refuting those reports, the Justin Fields camp. It's just, there's so much going on.
Just some comments from the viewers before we break, and we'll talk some Major League Baseball with Tim Leiper in Arizona. From Nelson Hakowicz, he says, what do you say, Rod? Sam made chicken salad out of lemonade with the Jets. That's my line. To be a good quarterback in that system takes talent. He's a great quarterback. He was failed by the Jets. So I'm excited to see what he does in Carolina. And poor Zach Wilson if he ends up with the Jets. But he'll have his payday. From Nelson Vo, our content creator of the RP show, says, as a Patriots fan, I'm very happy the Jets are hitching their wagon to Zach Wilson because he stinks. Woo! Strong opinions from Nelson. How about that?
How about that?
From Randolph Zora, I would have shown Darnold the door too. From Ryan McCarthy, watching in Albany, New York, he says, I'm a Jets fan. It's too bad Sam couldn't succeed in New York because the Jets didn't surround him with enough talent, and Adam Gase ruined him. Happy to see him get a fresh start, though. Tank Abbott watching says, not a Jets fan. I don't think the quarterbacks at 2 will be what Sam Darnold is, and he'll be great in Carolina. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But look at that. How about that? We open the door and a little NFL talk, and the comments go crazy.
Yeah, and you look at Carolina, Christian McCaffrey, top 3 running back in the NFL. Now you got the quarterback. You got the other weapons around him. Carolina could be good.
So the Blue Jays are off to their best start since 2015. And we're going to talk to Tim Leiper about it because he was their first base coach when that happened, on the way to putting a pennant up in the rafters at Rogers Center. He's now with the San Francisco Giants, and he'll join us from minor league spring training in the Valley next. Thanks for joining us for coffee today, everybody. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
RP Show continues on this Tuesday. Time to talk a little baseball. I want to say Blue Jays baseball, but we might run the gamut here. We're going to the Valley of the Sun. Our good friend Tim Leiper joins us, former Blue Jays first base coach and now the coordinator of outfield and base running for the San Francisco Giants. Joins us today. How you doing, Timbo?
I'm doing great. You guys doing good? It's always good being on with you.
Well, we're not in the Valley, so things could be better, but you're smiling ear to ear. You are eyeballs deep in baseball. Before we go any further, tell our viewers what you're doing down there right now in Phoenix.
So, like in the intro, you said I'm the coordinator of base running and outfield play for the San Francisco Giants. So basically, I oversee all the coaches and all the players in the minor leagues and their development in terms of running the bases and playing defense. So I don't know if that's a great thing for the Giants, but I actually really enjoy the job, and it's been really good. So, I've been in this game my whole life, and just, being out for, for me, 2 years, it's really, really great just to get back on the field. And for these kids, like the minor league kids were the guys that really wore it last year. And, they haven't played in over a year and a half, and to see these guys out here again, like for them, it's great. Because I think about when I played, if I'd have missed a year and a half, like that would have been tragic for me. And like, it's just nice to get these kids back out there again, because it's a big deal.
Absolutely. I want to come back around on that, but because you spent, I think it was 5 seasons with the Blue Jays and a tremendous run putting 2 banners up in the rafters at Rogers Center, 2015 and 2016. So the Jays are off to a 3-1 start for the first time since 2015, Tim. And as you know, they clinched the series at New York over the weekend. What are you seeing out of Canada's team here, not even a week into the regular season?
Just a lot of really cool things. And then I really thought for the first 3 games of the series in opening day, like that, the series had a real feel of like late season baseball. Like it really felt like September baseball in a pennant race. It was clean. It was good. There was great storylines on each game. And it just kind of showed how good the division is going to be, because there wasn't anything really flashy in the games, but the teams that really executed well, teams that made big plays when they needed to and then got tightly hits. It was just a really good baseball series. And the one thing, there's a million things that really stick out early in the season, because it's kind of a crapshoot, but how storylines develop and how your team develops, there's seemingly insignificant moments that are potentially really big deals. And I think the biggest story of the first 3 days for me, or 4 days, is the Julian Merriweather situation. He's a guy in spring training. He had some back problems. You didn't know. Look, for 2 years, I don't know if I'm going to age myself here. Like I thought it was Vera from Cheers. Norm had a wife, but you never saw her on camera. And that's what I thought Julian Merriweather was. And, he pitched a little bit last year. It was really good. He was hurt in spring training, so you really didn't know. And the fact that the first game went to extra innings is the only reason he probably got in that game right there. And the fact that he did it, and then the fact that he dominated, like that and then you can automatically throw him to a closer role. And I don't think it's like found money. I don't think it's something you expected. And one more thing on that, like a guy with his injury history to have a role where he knows he only has to get up in the 9th or 10th or 8th or 9th inning in a leverage situation. that's going to be so great for his health because, like, I think early on the plan was, hey, be ready from the 3rd to be ready through the 9th. But with relief pitchers, it's not so much the games they pitch that really gets them into trouble. It's the getting up and getting hot and then not getting a game and then have to getting hot again. That's what kind of kills guy. And with a guy with his injury history, a guy with his stuff, if you can keep him healthy and keep him really, really focused on short short warming up period and getting into games when he knows he's going to get in, I think long term that's going to be great for this team, and it pushes everybody back, and they have some great depth in their bullpen.
Well, I know that you're not a big social media guy, and I don't know if you read much media or newspapers. Most guys in your position don't, and that's a good thing. But there's a lot of media, Tim, in Canada that's apologizing to the Jays and the Shapiro-Atkins regime for saying, hey, we didn't know who Merriweather was when we got him in the Donaldson deal, so, hey, we're eating crow here now. And I guess there's something to be said for that. But I'm saying I'm not giving these guys a pass until they win a World Series. That's it, because I was such a fan of Alex Anthopoulos. But anyways, that's how far back the Merriweather story goes, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, this was basically the 3rd year of it, and look, it's good. I mean, it's still a little bit early to like be, slap yourselves on the back too much. But the nice thing is, like, he is a really great player, and he's a great pitcher, and just the fact the situation unfolded the way it did, like I said, it's found money. I mean, it's great. It's great because you can get guys back an inning more. And, like, now you got depth like in the 6th, 7th, 8th. And now, that being said, the starting rotation's been outstanding as well. I mean, they've covered the innings they need to cover. The thing that scares me about the team is if you get in a situation where the starting pitchers are only going, maybe 2, 3, 4 innings on a few starts one time through, and you expose the relievers a little bit too much. So I think it's great when guys get regular work without being overused because it's a really, really long season. But as it's unfolded the first 4 days, it's been the perfect blend of everything from a pitching staff. I mean, the starters have done their job. The relievers come in and gotten in good situations. They haven't been overused. Guys haven't really had to go back-to-back days yet. So far, really, really so good.
I'm going to come back around on that minor league situation in a moment. But just on the Jays win at Texas Monday, 6-2, you saw the crowd. But it was Kevin Biggio and Marcus Semien who homered back-to-back early, and they just completely took the crowd out of it. That must have made the Jays feel good to get up early, keep the foot on the neck of the Rangers, right? That was just a textbook game, it appeared to me.
Yeah, and, it's funny. You say you saw the crowd. I said this when I landed in Phoenix this week, and I saw it in Texas yesterday. Apparently, they canceled COVID down here in the States. So that was a little scary for me. I thought it was a little bit irresponsible, but I think that's for another show. But it was great. It was great to see Biggio, too, because offensively, not that he struggled, but he got off to a slower start in the New York series. I mean, I'm sure the fact that Kluber and Cole had a little bit to do with that as well. But to see these guys, when you get the first hit out of the way, the first home run out of the way, that's really good. I mean, you think about how deep this lineup is. Even there was one series or one game in the Yankee series where the top of the order went, I think, 0 for 14 with nothing. But like Randall Grichuk, and that's another guy we can talk about. He's factored in all the wins so far. He picks them up. So that's one thing about this team that's really great. Even if the top of the order is not producing, you still got depth in the bottom, and they're still doing the job. It's a really good lineup. They're still without Springer. They're still without Bichette getting hot. But, like, it's nice when you have it when you have guys that haven't hit their stride yet, guys that are cold, that there's other guys there to pick them up. I mean, that's the makings of a great team.
Yeah, no kidding. And just to remind our viewers, Tim Leiper was the Jays' first base coach for 5 seasons, but now he's with the Giants working with their minor league prospects. And tell me about that, because last year all of minor league ball was scrubbed in the pandemic, and a lot of us were worried it might never come back, but it is. What's the situation of AAA, AA, single A, Tim?
It's good. It's been better. Like, I think the first week of minor league spring training, because there's so many players and it's new and with all the protocols. I mean, and as careless as it looks like the U.S. is, and rightfully so on COVID, in our baseball world, it's actually been pretty good. We get tested a lot. Guys are quarantined. They got quarantined when they came down here, and they're distanced when we were working out in the field, which creates some scheduling problems, but it's also been really good in terms of getting individual work with the players. So I think their plan is to start like on May 9th or May 5th or something like that and get out there. So just hopefully, again, in the United States, is hope these players, everybody gets vaccinated, everybody stays safe, and we get the season on their way, and we can resume some sort of normalcy from a baseball standpoint, at least.
Well, you talk about COVID's been canceled in Arizona. I got a lot of buddies down there, snowbirds, if you will, retired guys that have been jabbed already. Canadians that are just loving living in the Valley. They're not interested in coming back to Canada anytime soon. For them, it's God bless America. Have you had your shot yet?
I was able to get the first one. They have a line, and you can go down to the Phoenix football stadium here, and there's a website. And literally, you got to refresh it like every 20 minutes. And I did it for like about 2 weeks straight. No, I was scared to death, to be honest with you, to come down here. I mean, we've done so much. And then living in Canada, I think we've been so responsible in keeping ourselves safe. And I knew just coming down here, I was scared to death. So I tried to take every precaution in the world. But when I saw vaccines were available, I was refreshing that button all the time and was able to get appointments at the football stadium at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so we were able to go out there, get our first shots, and got our second one on the 21st. And, you know, I didn't want to leave Canada. I got to be honest with you. Like, I love where I live, and I love living there. But the one blessing is that I was able to come down here and get that done. That gives me a little bit of peace of mind. And I think, you know, real soon, you know, in Canada, like, people are going to catch up, and it's going to be a real breath of fresh air when we can get out there again and people all get vaccinated and feel safe.
Yeah, no kidding. How many days will it be between shots for you? Just out of curiosity?
I think it's 21. It was 21 days. I got the Pfizer one, so it was 21 days in between.
Sweet. And hey, tell me about working for the Giants organization. That's a fabled, storied organization. How did that come about?
It's a great organization. You know, baseball's a small world, and when you get fired as much as I have, you have the ability to work with a lot of teams. And so the guy who's in charge of the minor leagues here I worked with his brother over in Miami when I was there, and it's just great. I mean, I grew up on the West Coast. I grew up a Dodger and Angels guy out in Southern California before I became, I became Canadian. And so it's kind of a neat for me to go back to the history, the kind of my roots and play. The Giants-Dodgers was always a great rivalry, coming up. The Giants have a great history. You know, they won 3 World Series in 5 years here, which nobody seems to talk about. And they just quietly went under the radar and did that. It's great history, with Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Jim Davenport. There's great stuff. And it's kind of neat. And then the other thing is I've been in professional baseball like 36, 37 years. And it's legitimately the first spring training I ever had in Arizona. And it's kind of neat at my age to like get new experiences. And then to come out here for Arizona is a new experience. So it kind of keeps you fresh.
Well, I know. And here's what I told you before we went to air, that it's been 3 years since I've been to Phoenix, and it's just absolutely driving me crazy. But I've had a lot of things happen in my life. But let's just tell our viewers, Tim, spring training is an industry in normal years anyways in the Valley, right? People come from all over America, take 2-3 weeks holidays, and just go to every ballpark. Millions of people, I believe, come to the Valley for spring training.
Absolutely, and tons of people from Calgary. I see the Alberta license plates everywhere around here. But there is a reason that spring training is supposed to be in February, March, because when you started on April 1st, it's 36, 37 degrees here. And for an old guy like me, and we have a new complex, so we have no trees and no shade, like that part's killing me.
Oh, poor guy. Well, Tim, we'll be praying for you today, my man. Hey, thanks for the time. As always, let's keep it up and stay safe. Thanks for the time, Tim.
Awesome. Great. Thanks. Nice talking to you as always.
Tim Leiper joining us from the Giants facility in the Valley of the Sun, Surprise, Arizona. We'll be coming right back with a sports update. We'll be delving into some viewer takeover comments, update the poll question. All of that's ahead. You're watching the RP Show on this Tuesday morning across all 10 provinces and 31 states on Game Plus Television, live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150 plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's April 6th. It's the 3rd anniversary of the Humboldt Broncos bus accident, the darkest day in this province's history. That's why we're recognizing it. We got the Broncos lid up here. That actually came from our friends at TG Marketing and Sean McNall back in the day. If you recall, he was raising funds for the Broncos. So we are all Humboldt strong as we recognize them today and let them know that they're not alone, nor are they forgotten. Hey, our poll question today is, would you go to a sporting event right now? And I know it's got a lot of people hot and bothered just with the question of it. And you have to understand now that close to 50% of our viewers are American, okay? So that 49th parallel divides things into apples and oranges. And from Joe Lazito from the 516 area code. He's texted there on the Prairie Mobile text line. Okay. What are they now saying on
Up
Facebook?
To 61%.
61%
yes.
saying right now they would go to a sporting event. I had to Google 516 area code where it is. It's Nassau County, New York. He texted the text line and says, would I go to a sporting event right now? I emailed my Islanders ticket rep an hour ago regarding tickets for my lovely wife's birthday in May, ready to get back to the rink. Signed, Joe Lazito. So the answer to this question is different depending on where you live. What is your thoughts on the virus? But there was a doctor wrote in here earlier, his good friend of mine, Sanchu. He is a gastrointestinal specialist. And he says, he would know, by the way. He says, we already have overcapacity in the ICU. What we do right now will determine the outcome of this. So, frankly, what they do in Texas, I don't have an opinion on Texas. I don't live in Texas. With what's going on here, I'm following the rules. We debated this at the start of the show in the Quick Six Show topics, but I'll say it again if you just joined us. If you can find a way to play safely, I think you should be able to play. The SJHL found that way and then still got yanked. It's gut-wrenching what's happened to one of my favorite leagues. That's my stance on that, but I'm still following all the rules. You see the difference there, right?
I do.
I think that's over a lot of people's heads, frankly, but I can take the noise. I'll read a sports update here, then we'll jump right back into our talk with our viewers. NHL goal leader Austin Matthews scored twice to get to 27 on the season, and Jack Campbell made 26 saves to tie a franchise record with his 9th straight win as the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the host Calgary Flames 5-3. Eric Stahl had a memorable debut with the Montreal Canadiens. The veteran scored the winner in overtime as Montreal beat the visiting Oilers 3-2. And Pierre-Luc Dubois scored twice as the host Winnipeg Jets held on to defeat the Ottawa Senators 4-3. Gary Trent Jr. beat the buzzer with a long three-pointer, and the Raptors rallied from a 19-point second-half deficit to beat the Washington Wizards 103-101 in Tampa. Spicy P led Toronto with 22 points. And back to this for a second on the Texas Rangers. Baseball fans decided to take what some of them called a calculated risk attending the home opener of the Texas Rangers against the Blue Jays, the first major U.S. pro sports event to approach capacity in a stadium since COVID-19 began. A crowd of 38,238 was on hand at Globe Life Field for Toronto's 6-2 win. The retractable roof was open on a 24-degree Celsius day. The Rangers gained national attention with their announcement last month to make all tickets available for the home opener, drawing criticism from United States President Joe Biden. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. As I read through all of that, what was going through your mind?
The COVID thing still, and the Texas Stadium. You know, the thing that I, kind of compare it to is, and it's very, important, but I kind of consider COVID to be just now another thing that we have to pay attention to, much like wheelchair accessibility, okay? So there was a time that it wasn't mandatory that you had to have, wheelchair accessibility in your place of work, in your business, and in your stadiums. But then you did. And I'm sure the businesses resisted. I'm sure the stadiums resisted because it's a lot of money to make your place wheelchair accessible. Now you don't build anything if it's not, right? And that's just a standard. Now when you're wanting to have events, it's not are vaccines available? Will the government let me? It's no. In your plan to host your event now, much like when you build, you have to make it wheelchair accessible. When you have an event, you have to have COVID protocol. And only if it gets approved because you have the correct COVID protocol that the government will sign off on, then you can go and have your event, just like your wheelchair accessibility has to be up to code. That's how I consider the pandemic now. And so in Texas, I'm sure they've got a plan for screening and negative tests and, contact tracing and all of those things, but it's now just part of having the event. So you wonder why some leagues go and some leagues don't. The NFL has said, no, our season happens. Now we have to have this extra little policy in place. We know that. So you put in the investment and the work, and it's just now part of day-to-day life. Do I think it's going to last forever? No. But right now, that's the current state of sports.
Yeah. And you called before anybody else did for the bubble, which ended up happening.
Yeah.
Maybe they were watching this show. I don't know. Viewer Dallas Fedorchuk writes in and he says, I'd have been in Texas in a heartbeat, Roddy. Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, Texas, pandemic scare, don't care. I just knew that people would have a lot of opinions on this today. I think quite often about the 4 months that we went without sports from March 11th till when they did resume play, and what was the first back on, MLS?
Yeah.
The first
MLS
back on the field?
Back, yeah.
And then the NHL. We'll always be able to fill the time here on the RP show. And that's the whole thing with the choice. I was talking with a baseball guy yesterday, and not Tim Leiper, another guy, minor league level, that they have not yet quite decided on canceling their season, but they're very close. And his thing was, man, if you'd have told me a year ago that we were going to be looking at canceling the 2021 season, I would not have believed you. And they have to do it because of government regulations. I'll point again to the specialist from the hospital that wrote in here earlier and said we're at overcapacity of ICU right now. That is no small thing. But we're over a year into this, and it just feels like nobody has a real handle necessarily on where we're going or what's going on. That's a little scary to me. Those are the health officials and the government officials. A little scary to me. So that Labor Day video, which I think still our most viewed video that I said had 45,000 views about how I'd like to quarantine the sick, not the healthy, all of that. It's what they did in South Dakota. That's my take. Come at me if you want. That's mine, but I'm still following the rules. I could go on, but they're telling me we're up against it for a break. So we'll come right back with Viewer Takeover. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Capital GMC is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 GMC Sierra, Terrain, and Acadia. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital GMC is Truck Nation at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Dupes is with me. We had 4 minutes of a break, and we sat here and visited, and I didn't get ready for this segment. Other than there's breaking news today. Taylor Hall will not play tonight for the Buffalo Sabres. Right. That came from a score update, okay? So he's expected to be moved prior to Monday's NHL trade deadline. Taylor Hall will not play tonight for the Buffalo Sabres. Should I announce this new sponsor, by the way?
Yeah.
Dirk Fitness. I'm Ron Burgundy, right? I'll read exactly what's in front of me. So is this good to go?
Yeah.
I've not proofread it. Dirk Fitness. On Friday, we will announce the winner of a gym membership giveaway on our social media. Get fit now. Dirk Fitness in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan has an exciting offer this weekend. All sign-up fees are waived. Your first month is free, and you'll be signed up to win a free membership. Visit dirkfitness.ca for more information today. Got it? dirkfitness.ca. And frankly, I can't believe how popular we are in Moose Jaw.
I know.
I know you people like these stories, the real-life stories. I'm walking into the Dub Hub yesterday, the Sub Dub Hub, and there was a guy outside having a dart. Aviator shades, big beard. Did you see him?
Yeah, I did.
Did he stop and talk to you?
Yeah.
Listen, he looked like he was hiding from somebody, okay? I didn't really, from a distance, know who it was. I'm hustling into the Dub Hub because I had to do an interview once I got inside on Lloydminster Radio. And the guy yells, "Roddy! Peter! It's Peter Yatreidis." Sales guy for the Moose Jaw Warriors. And I'm like, "Hey, Pete." And once he said it, and the Fear the Moose truck wasn't that far away, so it was very clear to me. But again, he had a ball cap on, sunglasses, the beard. Looked like a lot of guys around this town, right?
Yeah.
So we got talking, and I said, "How are things with the Moose Jaw Warriors?" And he said, "Hey, we're getting by. We'll survive," which is always the nice thing to hear, right? And he just mentioned that we are here in the COVID capital, frankly. We're still under lockdown. For how long, I don't know. But it's only the surrounding communities. And frankly, Moose Jaw, for those of you that are watching that aren't familiar with the geography of the sweatpants capital, the distance from Regina to Moose Jaw is the same as the distance from Scottsdale to Glendale. People drive it all the time. But here you would think it was on the other side of the earth. You know?
Yeah.
And they are not subject to the lockdown rules that we are because they're not part of this jurisdiction. And he just mentioned he runs and owns Rodo's Pizza, a legendary pizza restaurant in Moose Jaw. And his brother John, of course, is the Mad Greek. So I was like, what am I allowed to say? Can you, if you want to leave the sweatpants capital, get out of this bubble, can you say go to Moose Jaw and get a pizza at the Mad Greek? Or can you not? Like, will I be drawn and quartered for saying that because you're not supposed to leave, not supposed to come in? What the hell?
I know.
Like I've said to people, it's been over a year. I don't really watch the news anymore. I'm kind of not familiar with what we can and can't do. I come in here every day and I go home, and then I go to the bubble and go home, and that's it. And maybe if I'm feeling real frisky, I'll go to Costco once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's my life. I don't really have a problem with it per se.
No, I think you're doing a pretty good job. I think that's the idea.
Stayed safe.
Limit the bubble, right? Don't interact with as few people as possible, and do your part. And I think you pretty much summed it up.
A lot of Bomber fans, Winnipeggers watching. Jeff Cabela says, "Can't wait till we can attend a Jets or Bomber game. I will down 3 hot dogs." Slipped off the screen. I will down 3 dogs and drink myself silly at the Rum Hut. I'll have to take a loan out. Corey DeTavio says, "Morning, Roddy." Morning, Corey. He's in Manitoba. We'll continue the fun rolling next hour, and Dustin Forbes of the Lethbridge Hurricanes will be with us. Thanks to Tim Leiper for joining us in hour 1. We'll see you after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. all you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of lemon and Saskatoon berry with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150 plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Remington Parkway Golf Course in Toronto. Golf courses are open out there. I love it. Davis Sanchez, CFL, NFL alum, joins us from the CFL on TSN. Look, I'm smiling. Of course he's smiling.
How about that?
Appreciate you guys. During the days, weekdays, sitting around, a lot of us are at home right now, being able to talk CFL midweek on your show. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I've been looking forward to talk to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, fellas.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
We are absolutely going to keep on keeping on. Thank you, Davis Sanchez. I had a lot of great reaction to our interview with Davis yesterday. It's hour 2 of the show. Welcome to the second half kickoff, everybody. Moose Dupont there. The suddenly richer Moose Dupont there. Same amount of richness here. RP. He won his bracket in the Enterprise Sports bracket out of Philly with the Baylor Bears whomping Gonzaga last night in the March Madness final. You don't know yet what you're winning in terms of money, and do you know? Viewers are asking how you're going to get it.
Yeah,
do you know that yet?
No idea. I paid via PayPal. Yeah, I'm assuming I'm getting paid via PayPal right back in there. So, Dan's been all over it this morning. He's like, I'm just waiting on a couple more guys to pay me, and you'll get your money by the end of the day.
Dan,
blah, blah, blah.
The situation, Saravelli.
But he's been very good. He gave me a nice tribute on their social media feeds.
Oh, I saw that. Our friends in Philly that invited us into the Enterprise bracket.
Yeah.
Have you said to them, thanks for the donation, fellas? Anyways, it's the second half kickoff. We don't go deep into the quick six show topics like we do an hour ago. But I will say hey to some of our viewers. Aiden Meredith's watching on YouTube. YouTube watching from Chicago. G'day, Aiden. I guess I'll say good afternoon. It's afternoon out there in Illinois. Let's catch you all up on what we were talking about here. The poll question today would be a good place to start, wouldn't it? With regards to the 40,000 that showed up in Texas yesterday for the Rangers and Blue Jays, the question is, would you go to a sporting event right now? And on Twitter, 61% of you saying that you would, 39% saying no, you would not. And that's Twitter. What's Facebook?
60% say yes, 60-40.
Yeah. So if I may, we had a gastrointestinal specialist watching last hour, and he wrote in, and he said, in this city, the ICU is over capacity. So what we do from here moving on will determine a lot of things. Outright catastrophe. I don't know why so many people want to know my opinion on this. And I know I think a lot different than most of you. I used to think the same as most of you. But I've changed. And what they do in Texas, I don't really have an opinion on. What they do in Vancouver, I don't really have an opinion on because I have no effect on that. I have no control over that. But in terms of my own life, with the question, would you go to a sporting event? You were asking, should we face off on that for the Ultimate Fan Zone and Mad Greek? And well, we get to go to sporting events in the Dub Hub. But I got to tell you something. So many people are asking me, what's it like to go into the bubble? And I've acknowledged multiple times what a privilege it is to go in. We don't go in there and jack around.
Right.
Because we don't want to cause a problem for anybody. We understand how grateful we are to be able to go in, call the Regina Pats games on Access Now television, and get the hell out of there. And whatever the rules are, we're not roaming around the rink. We're not visiting with people we shouldn't. I'm following the rules. And that's why I think nobody's really come after me in the last year, because although I think they're overly excessive in this country, I'm not a doctor. Can I not have an opinion? I respect yours, and I'm following the rules. But what they do in other places is up to them. And it's just interesting that the majority of people on our polls today say they would go, i.e., take their life in their own hands. And that's the difference between Canada and America. In America, it's you're on your own, Haas. Whereas up here is we'll tell you what's better for you. We'll regulate broadcast. We'll regulate crown corporations. We'll regulate your entire life. That's Canada. If we didn't like it, we could leave. And a lot of people have. Have I completely misread that? Because I don't think that I have. I spent a lot of time thinking about this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's the regulations we have. And right now, with Texas opening up, hey, look we can watch that from afar. We can monitor. We can see how that goes, and then make decisions based on having that information at the ready. I mean, it's not that much different than here in terms of the people are the people, right? We're not that much different than people in Texas. We're not, communities aren't that much different. There's just more of them, and it's bigger. That's it, right? So if they go in mass crowds, then we have more information to make our decisions moving forward, right?
Do they have better and more health facilities? Well, yes, they do. So you can't compare Canada and America. You just can't. But I think people need to get their heads around this, that have known me in this country for decades. Our American viewers look at it differently than the Canadians, and we're on the air in 31 states. Half our viewers are American. Can you understand that? Can you accept that? That these are the people that are voting on our polls. By the way, on Darren winning thousands of dollars in the Enterprise Sports bracket, Nelson Hakowich, our VP of Sim Events, wants to know, is that United States dollars or Canadian dollars? If it's U.S. dollars, Dupes, you could save the CFL.
It's in U.S. dollars, and I will not be saving the CFL.
If you had the money, would you save the CFL?
Oh.
Good. How about that?
How about that? Good question. You know what? I would be the same reason that owners want to own a team. Because I would be rolling in like Spencer Strassmore owning the league.
Oh, yeah.
It would be cool. It would be.
You'd be doing a McGregor.
It'd be a hobby, right?
Yeah.
It would be a hobby for me. Would not be a business investment. This show would be secure. Everything would be fine. But if I already owned a team, no, I wouldn't. But But yeah, I think I would.
The reason, by the way, I asked that, and you initially you said no, you wouldn't save the CFL. Then you flopped and said that you would. And here's the thing. There's a lot of gazillionaires in this country in Canada, even more in America, that could easily step up and save the CFL, and they're not. So what does that tell you? It's that they don't want any part of it with the way the CFL runs right now.
It's the same conversation you would have with your wife about, honey, I'm thinking about buying a boat. The boat's going to cost you money. It's not going to make you money. The value's only going to decrease over time. It's not going to appreciate, but it's going to be fun. You're going to sink a lot of money into it. You're going to sink a lot of time into it, honey. All our time's going to be spent now on the water. But do we want to spend all this money on a boat? The league's not an investment, right? It's do we want to spend money on
You're not going to get any money back.
Exactly. You're going to spend money. You're going to spend time. But are you passionate enough about Canadian football that that's where you want to spend your money? Somebody might be.
Yeah, well, they're looking for more rich guys because it's been a hobby for these rich guys that are kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
That's the sense that I get right now. Dylan Spicer, one of our viewers, writes in and says, a little late joining, but hello all from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Hello, Dylan. Nice to hear from you. Shoot, there's a lot of comments here. Where was it? The kid said something along the way. Here it is. Habs for Life 41. He's watching on YouTube. He says, too much news/social media is like too much alcohol. And that just set off a string of comments. Did you know a string of comments from people? He's actually very right. Trust me, I'd know. Sober 6 years. I'm generally stay off of it as much as I can, but not as much as Darren. You said that you don't even go into mentions anymore. You've shut it. And that's the best thing. Turn it off.
Yeah. You know, I'll go in there and reply to people. If they take the time out of their day to send me a note or interact, I try and interact as much as possible. But at times you have to take that mental health break and just step aside. You know, you need to still be active, and I want to be, and I value the community that we're building on social media. But you can't go into the threads and reply in all the comments all the time because it becomes such a nasty and toxic place. And you have to look at yourself first, right?
Stay out of it.
You got to stay out of it.
And it's not just about the fights. I mean, I've talked to quite a few people in and around the Humboldt Broncos today, and they're obviously having a tough time, and a lot of it has to do with what they're seeing on social media. And it's like, probably should just stay away from social media today, but I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this, my life gets a lot better when I just turn my phone off. Chris Griffin, watching on Facebook, says, us parents would really like to be able to watch our WHL kids live. And that's the point. I mean, again, back to having an opinion. Like, I do not understand. And have you noticed I haven't fought with anybody on Twitter for ages?
Yeah. Proud of you.
With the hockey rinks and for sports facilities, why are we cramming people into malls, Walmarts, Best Buys, Costco's, but we can't go to a hockey rink? Nobody's had a good explanation for that. And for when the people that say, well, you can't buy groceries at a hockey rink, that's not the point. They're not having outbreaks in these enclosed facilities with thousands of people in them, so why can't we play hockey? Nobody's answered that.
That's the giant test, right? Now that we've done this and proven it, we should start opening up more. I completely agree. And I take Costco out of that because I do subscribe to the grocery side of it, right? I'd rather we take a risk of getting sick going to get groceries than going to buy a stereo or a TV set at Best Buy.
Yep.
But we're going to Best Buy and we're going to the malls and we're starting to fill these
You can buy groceries online too, by the way.
Right? You can, absolutely. And you're starting to fill these places up and not getting the outbreaks. And that should be the thing. We start adding more and more and more. And then when you get an outbreak, you pull back a little bit. Then you do good and you open up a little bit until eventually everything's wide open. Right? That's kind of what I subscribe to.
And that's, we're not a damn news program, so I'm going to move on and talk sports, or at least try to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to delve down the rabbit hole of the liberal government, because what we're doing here is just trying to manage the virus until we can get enough needles in the arms. And even Larry Smith took a stab at the Trudeau in his interview on TSN 690 last week, which was hilarious, by the way, but I just don't want to be that guy. DG in Saskatoon writes in, Prairie Mobile text line, morning, boys. My view comes down to one thing. Either the vaccines work or they don't. And right now we're in effectively the largest marketing campaign in world history to get people vaccinated. And so many public officials are failing on that campaign with their message that even with being vaccinated, it's unethical to return to normalcy. This sends a message that the vaccines won't work. This all shows that many public officials couldn't sell water in the Sahara Desert. I was like, what I just said, but he said it way better than me. You want to do the show? You should. Our VP of Sim Events, Nelson Hackowitz, says, all Darren's points are why the CFL needs Red Bird Capital and The Rock. They need to start to do something to get a majority of the teams in the black and get wealthy Canadians and Americans excited about owning a CFL franchise. So back for those that weren't watching an hour ago, I went off the air yesterday with a dirty tease for you, and I apologize, but I said that a CFL insider, a football insider actually, had told me he was going to give me all the goods on this CFL XFL deal. And he's like, you deserve to know, given the amount of coverage and talk that you're dedicating to this. Now, it was like 3 sentences, what he wrote me. And he said, I'm going to get more details on Tuesday, so I probably won't talk to you till Wednesday, but all you really need to know is that the MLSC is behind this. So he's like, people are mad at Ambrosie, people are mad at The Rock. If you want to be mad at anybody or just want to know what the genesis of it is, it's MLSE. And I appreciate him saying that because Dave Naylor has been really the only guy that's been pushing that. And, what have I said a million times? Nails, I trust Nails. But he's also getting just one side of the deal, right? The owners are giving David his information, and that's why Arash Madani came on here last week and referred to TSN as the communist Russian television, state television. Right? Because they got the CFL's message, and really there's nobody at Sportsnet even cares about this. And pre-pandemic, was I not saying that MLSE was going to save or take over the CFL? And interestingly, the only reason I said that was that a former high-ranking CFL official told me pre-pandemic that MLSE is running the Canadian Football League. So I was kind of putting 2 and 2 together, poking around, talking to some folks. And now here we are with this. And I can't wait for the call tomorrow when I get more details on this. Do you think Randy Ambrosie is sitting back, upset at the criticism he's getting from fans on the XFL thing? Upset at, is he laughing that people are running around chasing their tails? Or C, is he worried that he's not going to have a league to be a commissioner of at all if we don't get vaccinated widely in time to play this year? Or all three?
Yeah, probably a little column A, B, and C. And that's the last thing you want as a league, right? Is to, bring your sports back and then have a massive outbreak, right? And have that cause more problems. So you're concerned a little bit about everything, and you're not just in a position like the other leagues are in the NFL to just, do whatever needs to be done to play. It's a financial thing, and it's awfully tough.
Well, I could defer to you on a lot of these things here today. I'm going back and forth between your comments and their comments. Chris Griffin says, boys, can we ever talk about what the CFL does well? You need Chris Griffin to listen to everything that we say, not just pick out the negatives. I've been saying it for a year. The CFL has always done football well. Said that forever. So don't come at me. Open your ears to everything that we're saying. They are in a mess because they don't have any money and they can't play. You tell me who's at fault for that. Don't come at me. Nelson says the CFL owners and GMs are meeting today regarding a number of league issues. Let's just hope that some XFL topics are on that list. That's a tough one for them because you saw 3 Down report that they're going to drop one global player from each roster if they play this year, A, you're not even going to notice they're gone. B, are they even going to play this year at all? It just seems like so much of this is pretend until we have a definitive, okay, we're kicking off Labor Day. And they can't even say that. That's not their fault.
No, it's not.
Didn't you say, or somebody around here said, they're not saying anything because they can't say anything because they don't know anything?
It's true, right? It's true. I mean, I think, like, we know right now, like, with almost absolute certainty that they're not starting on time. There's just not enough time. We've talked to players. We know they need 4 to 8 weeks. 4 weeks if you're kind of in the country and close to your city, but more like 6 to 8 weeks to be prepared for training camp if you're coming from out of town or from out of country, which is most of the Americans. So they're not starting on time. But do they know when they're starting? Probably not. So it's hard to come out and say, we're not starting on time and we'll get back to you. Like, that's leaves you kind of floating in the wind a little bit, even though that's where they are now anyway. They don't know when they're starting, so it's hard to come out there. I feel incredibly bad for them because it's hard to navigate.
There's literally nothing they can say.
There's nothing they can say.
By the way, I didn't read this last hour. I'll read it now, and then we'll go to break. George Janitzo sending me this text from the Four Seasons Sports Palace. They are the sponsors of the warm-up every day. He says, order a fabulous Four Seasons pizza and your favorite beverage for takeout and delivery. One-stop shopping. Call or order online. Again, that's the Four Seasons Sports Palace, Arcola Avenue East. We're going to talk a little Hurricanes hockey and Dubs Central Division. So listen up, Alberta. Talking about you next with Dusty Forbes of the Lethbridge Hurricanes. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You got to subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating. Proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, Give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the RP Show, episode number 456 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. We got the curling report coming up, and we've got a face-off coming up, which is on this. Taylor Hall, would you acquire him if you were a contending team in the National Hockey League? That's coming up here in hour 2. But first, for the second consecutive day, we're going to southern Alberta. This time to Lethbridge as we bring in Dustin Forbes, the longtime voice of the Lethbridge Hurricanes, as they're back to play, but not tonight. How you doing, Dustin?
I'm doing well, Roddy. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this chat, obviously, because I love me some Central Division hockey, but I've been so hunkered down in the sub-dub hub here in the East. I said to Clark, let's bring on Dusty to talk about the Central Division. It seems to have gone fairly well in terms of return to play and results and so forth. What's been your perspective?
Yeah, I think the Western League did such a great job, first and foremost, in getting everybody up and running. Of course, the Central started first. We started in on the last weekend of February, and so far, so good. We're roughly halfway through the schedule, and because there's the 5 teams and playing provincially every weekend, there's a bye for one team. So Lethbridge had a bye this past weekend. Next weekend, it's Edmonton that has a bye. So overall, it's been good. Each team is kind of doing things a little bit differently in terms of the housing aspect for the players. But the teams have done a really good job in keeping their cohorts and their bubbles really small. And to this point, knock on wood, we haven't had any trouble so far. And we're traveling. That's the biggest difference compared to BC and Saskatchewan and Manitoba, of course. The Central Division, we're traveling. So that has added a different component from what we've seen in the hubs.
Well, I think the hockey guys would love to discuss that a little more, actually, because here, I was mentioning it last hour. We go into the rink, we go straight up to the press box, we don't talk to anybody, we do our thing, and we go home, and it's like broadcasting a practice, really. But you guys aren't doing that. What's the distinction? Why is it different, do you think? How did Alberta get the green light versus the other provinces, and how are you making sure that you keep it safe?
Well, there's a lot of protocols in place for sure. I mean, upon entry, similar what I imagine to what you guys have to do in the hub is you get your temperature checked. You got to do the questionnaires, any symptoms, this, that, or the next. There's only allowed 200 people in the buildings. But I think it just goes, to the health authority aspect. In the Western League, worked hard with all the different jurisdictions to make it happen. And in Alberta's case, they were okay with us traveling. In Saskatchewan's case, of course, they weren't. So you bring in the hub aspect. And of course, with Manitoba, that complicated things a little bit further, I think. So, but it's been good. For example, myself, I'm not in the team cohort, so I don't have any personal access to the players or the coaches or what have you. So I've been driving to the games on my own, not on the team bus, which is a little bit different. But it's been good. And fortunately, we've been playing through March and now into April, and the weather here has been really good. So we haven't had any issues on the travel front, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Rich Sutter and I talk quite regularly, and it's been like spring there, I know, since mid-February, so that's great. And by the way, it's funny, I'm glad you said that you're driving on your own, because I wondered, people are asking me about Connor Bedard. What's he like? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him face-to-face. Nobody's seen these guys face-to-face, and we do have an interview lined up with them tomorrow, but it'll be just like we're doing right now. And actually, before I talk about the view of Connor Bedard from where you guys are sitting, let's just talk about the play in the Central Division, if you don't mind. Has there been surprises, that Edmonton got off to such a great start, Red Deer has not, or has that gone kind of the way you thought it would go?
You know what? Honestly, Rod, it's gone pretty well to what I thought. Edmonton, they've just got so many elite guys. I mean, you talk about Dylan Guenther, who I think he's over a goal per game pace right now, leading the league in scoring with Mr. Bedard right on his tail. He's been terrific. First rounder of the St. Louis Blues, Jake Neighbors, is having a great season. Matthew Robertson, the second rounder of the Rangers, is having a good season. And Sebastian Coase has just been airtight. I mean, he's a big kid, moves well in goal, and he's had a great start. So they're really the cream of the crop. After that, I really thought it was going to be a dogfight with Medicine Hat, Calgary, Lethbridge, and then Red Deer, because they're such a young team. And Jaden Grube, who's a draft-eligible forward, got hurt. He's done. They've gone through some other injuries as well, which has really kind of bit them a little bit in the rear end in terms of putting wins on the board. It's kind of fallen the way I kind of expected it going into the 24-game season.
Well, you know, the scouts here, and there are, I don't know, 30 to 40 every game. I would think it's hard to tell because they're so spaced out. But they're saying they're, geographically, I mean, not mentally, they are saying they are getting enough of an evaluation for the draft. They're getting what they need. From your role as the broadcaster, are you seeing that? Like Dylan Guenther is obviously, can you imagine if he hadn't played? You know, like, are you seeing enough of these guys?
I think so. I mean, and you look at the quality of play. I mean, it's been pretty good given the situation. And that was one of the things going into this season that I was interested to see is what's the level of play going to be like with no fans? In some cases, really not much to play for at the end of it, right? Like, you're always jockeying for positioning, and we'll see if there's a playoff of any kind. I'm not sure if that'll actually come to fruition, but it's just such a different season. But the games have been good. Aside from maybe the first weekend or first two weekends, the quality of hockey's gotten a lot better as the season's gone. I mean, a lot of these kids went almost a full year without playing a game. So it takes a little bit of time to get your timing and all of that. But in terms of Dylan Guenther's case, he's just been fantastic. I mean, we played Edmonton, the Lethbridge Hurricanes played Edmonton on the opening weekend, and they waxed us 7-1 and 7-2, and he had 4-point nights in both nights. So he really got off to a red-hot start and hasn't really looked back. He's been terrific.
This is unbelievable, by the way. So just some of our viewers chiming in. Dustin, you know how we do it. Janelle in Saskatoon says, the thing I love about the CHL Live subscription this year is I get to watch all the teams. So awesome getting to cheer on other divisions. Go Hurricanes. I've had zero issues watching on the CHL app. None. I know there are people that can't say that, I guess, but it's been great for me. I've seen them all. Joe Hamilton's watching in St. Louis. He says, a buddy of mine called Bedard a Connor McDavid-type player. Is it too soon to be saying this since he's so young? And from Habs for Life 41, watching in Vancouver, says, I went to high school with Dustin. LOL. Wow. He used to cover the Glacier Kings. There's proof. So he knows what he's talking about.
That's true.
So just to go back for a second on the Bedard thing, what's the view from one province over on what Connor Bedard's doing here for the Pats?
Well, I mean, it's pretty special to see what he's doing. I mean, the numbers are just insane. And you look at the other exceptional players in the past, Connor McDavid, a good example, John Tavares, Shane Wright, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he's slamming those numbers. It's a little bit of a, shall I say, sore topic in Lethbridge a little bit, because the Hurricanes, of course, held that pick and traded it to the Pats for Jake in the Jake Lecision and Nick Henry trade. So I've retweeted a few Bedard clips and stats and stuff like that. I've had people say, oh, come on, man, you're killing me here. But it's so special to see. And I think it's fantastic for the league, no matter where he plays, whether it was here, so Current, Regina, Prince George, Victoria, it doesn't matter where he plays. I think it's such a great thing for the league. And the fact that he's had such an impact right away is a great thing, especially given that he's the first ever Western Leaguer to get the exceptional status. So it's been a lot of fun to watch. I just wish I could see him in person, but hopefully that'll come in the fall.
You will soon enough. And by the way, Dustin, you're very popular. Viewer Aaron McKay on YouTube says he used to cover the Richmond Sockeyes too. What the hell? Did you tell all your friends to tune in today?
No, but I have been around. I've made my stops. I even spent 1 year with the Laurent Ice Wolves up in Laurent in the SJ, and a year in the BC League. So I've bounced around, and finally, got to Lethbridge, and it's been 7 years here, which is crazy. Time flies.
It's a wonderful city. I love Lethbridge, and they know that I feel that way about them. But by the way, I have to tell you how proud of you that I am, and let's just talk about the personal side for a moment. There's no easy way to lose weight, and you've done a lot of weight loss. How much, and how did you do it?
Well, sitting at 93 pounds right now over the last couple of years. So it's been a long...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long road. I had a person in the sports industry say, you know what, I think you're good enough, but you don't have the look. And that kind of kicked me in the ass, really. And so I kind of self-reflected a little bit. And I, like many people, you struggle with motivation and stuff like that, especially through the pandemic. I think I had put 25 pounds back on, and I've since lost that back. So it's been a long road. Have come a long way, and there's still a long way to go. But, baby steps, and it's the long-term thing. And anyone who's going through it, and it's a struggle for sure, but I encourage people to, just do the little things and, walk a lot and drink more water, eat better, all the things that you hear on a day-to-day basis that you're like, it won't work for me, or it hasn't worked for me. When you add it up over a long period of time, it does help for sure.
Yeah, well, good for you. Keep going, man. And like I said, we're watching and very proud of you. Dustin, keep on keeping on. We're watching out here, the WHL as well. Thanks for the time and good luck.
Hey, anytime, Roddy. Thanks for having me.
Dustin Forbes joining us from Lethbridge. He is the voice of the Hurricanes. A curling report, Canada's Brendan Bottcher lost to a rookie team and dominated a rival contender Monday at the Men's World Curling Championship in Calgary, falling 10-9 to unheralded Jungyoung Seok of South Korea after thumping reigning Olympic champion John Schuster of the United States 10-1, added up to a mixed bag of a day for the host team. Bottcher's record was 5-2 behind Norway's Stefan Wallstad, who was alone atop the standings at 5-1 following Monday's evening draw. South Korea's Jeong and his teammates are playing in their first World Championship. They were outscored 40-13 over 5 losses to start the event, but outplayed Canada early Monday. Bottcher, third, Darren Moulding, second, Brad Thiessen, and lead Carrick Martin from Edmonton trailed 8-3 after 7 ends. The Canadians battled their way out of handshake territory, scoring 4 in the 8th and stealing 2 in the 9th. Bottcher shot 100% against the United States, but the Canadian skip wasn't as sharp against South Korea, where he was 75%. American Schuster, the Russian Curling Federation's Sergei Glukov, Scotland's Bruce Mowat, Switzerland's Peter de Cruz, and defending champion Nicholas Eden of Sweden were all tied with Bottcher at 5-2. The top 6 teams in the field of 14 advance. The top 2 seeds earn byes to Saturday's semifinals at Winsport's Markin McPhail Center. In Friday's qualification round, third plays 6th, fourth plays 5th. The winners will move on to the semifinals. The gold and bronze medal games are Sunday. Our curling report is brought to you daily by Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try Verge's Precision Farm Tech software free today at vergeag.com. Back with more in a moment. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus television across all 10 provinces and 31 states. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports talk streaming for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 Ford F-150, Ranger, Escape, and more. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation, 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We'll jump into viewer takeover a little early today, but remind me to do the sports update, okay?
Okay.
Nelson Hackowich, our VP of Sim Events, writes in, he says, the Spring League has expanded to 8 teams and will begin play May 6th with 2 hubs. A North Division played at Lucas Oil Stadium and a South Division played in Houston, Texas. Games will be on Fox Sports 1 and 2. COVID got him. The Spring League last year, we watched it very closely because our good friend Drew Tate is in it, and I'm sure that he'll be back. From Dominic D on YouTube, he says, thoughts on the potential of a CFL global spots being reduced by 2 to 1? What are our thoughts? We discussed it earlier. I'll discuss it again. And with all due apologies to our man, Armando Moreno, our Mexican football reporter in Mexico City, who's a very big proponent of the CFL 2.0 initiative. The vast majority of the global players never got to the field anyways. This is another thing like CFL, XFL collaboration or COVID restrictions. We could argue around and around and around on this forever if you want. Randy Ambrosi had the dream of the global expansion of the league, similar to the NBA. It's what he told me himself. So it was a long play. There's no doubt, Darren, it was a long play. They don't have a long amount of time. What's important to them is right in front of their face, not how long before we can get Rennie Bracia on the field without causing problems in a special team situation on kickoff return. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a long play that the CFL doesn't have time for. That's what CFL 2.0 is. So to cut it from 2 spots to 1, I'm sorry, you rarely saw these guys play anyway, so it doesn't make that big of a difference to me. My take.
Not a big deal, yeah, that this is happening. It's not a big deal. But it doesn't mean you're shutting down CFL 2.0. It doesn't mean you should shut down CFL 2.0. I think it's very much needs to be a focus if you're going to have long-term sustainability in the league. But you really need to readjust how you do it. And the global players on the field is not what's important for CFL 2.0 right now.
It's not.
At all, right? So you can market to those other countries and you can do all of those things still, but yeah, removing a player on the field, that's not a change to much of anything and isn't going to impact anything.
Yeah, thanks for the comment. Dominic continues to say, do we know if the bigger name players that would get NFL looks, i.e. Willie Jefferson, Bo Levi Mitchell, are regretting not being able to go for that last NFL shot? Dominic, I view that differently from you. And if we're going to go into football talk today, why the hell not? I'm averse with it. Bo Levi had his opportunity, could have signed at Minnesota. I don't doubt for 1 second that Bo Levi turned that deal down in Mini, probably for what? A signing bonus and a shot to compete in camp versus his $700,000 in Calgary where he's got a house and a young family? Bo had his chance. He made his decision. Willie Jefferson has had multiple looks in the National Football League. It's not happening. Willie knows that. These guys just want to play in Canada. They want to get on the damn field. I believe they're not thinking about the National Football League anymore. To our poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, would you go to a sporting event right now? 61% saying yes on Twitter and on Facebook. 63% saying yes. Now, one of our viewers, Graham Barker, writes in, former chairman of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, says, my sense is your target group skew to a younger audience, and research shows this group has a sense of invincibility not found in older sectors. I would say, with all due respect, you're participating, Graham. Don't assume. How do we know? I'll take that as a flattering remark that our target demographic is younger. I'd be happy with that. But again, you're voting. How can we speak for other people? How do we know?
I know.
Maybe we should add a poll tomorrow. Oz, what's your age? 0 to 18, 18 to 30, 31 to 45. What?
No, we could. Absolutely.
Maybe that would be a good idea to truly answer what Graham's saying there. But the people that have responded, by the way, to that question that I'm not going to name them now. But we had one from Manitoba. We had one from Long Island. These guys are all saying, yeah, in a heartbeat, I'd go. So it's a complex question. It's not easy, right? Where are you living? Have you been vaccinated? Are you fully vaccinated? Right? Mm-hmm. Are you dumb? Are you smart? From Armando, I knew that he would be watching in Mexico City. He says, coming from a country that has a high number of global prospects, the news is very disappointing, to say the least. Again, everybody has a perspective on this. As Darren said, it's not what's important for the CFL right now. They can't afford long-term initiatives when the house is on fire. They just can't. It's picking out the drapes for said house, to quote Paul, when you're in the middle of a raging inferno.
Yeah, not the time to be picking the drapes.
No. Sports update. None of you reminded me to say it. Right-hander Tanner Rourke makes his season debut for the Toronto Blue Jays as they face the Texas Rangers at Globe Life Field. Rourke had a 6.0 ERA in 11 starts last season. The Rangers plan to use their second set of tandem starters when righty Dane Dunning makes his first Texas start. Lefty Taylor Hearn is expected to follow him. Major League Baseball reportedly plans to relocate the All-Star Game to Coors Field in Denver after pulling this year's Midsummer Classic from Atlanta over objections to sweeping changes to Georgia's voting laws. How about that? What an uproar that was over the weekend.
I know.
In the Dub Hub, Ridley Gregg scored the winning goal and tacked on a helper as the Brandon Wheat Kings down the Prince Albert Raiders 3-2 Monday in WHL play. Wheaties have won 7 in a row. Calgary halted the Medicine Hat Tigers' win streak at 5 games with a 5-4 shootout win. Dylan Gunther, Cade Oliver, and Jalen Lupin all scored twice, and Logan Dohaniuk tacked on 2 assists as Edmonton picked up its 3rd straight win. They toppled the Red Deer Rebels 6-1. Rebs have lost 6 in a row. Trent Miner stopped all 30 shots his way for the shutout, and Justin Lees potted a goal before being kicked out of the game as Vancouver blanked the Kamloops Blazers 4-0. Cade Runke and Josh Hoekstra scored 23 seconds apart, and Jagger Furcus completed the comeback with a shootout winner as the Moose Jaw Warriors erased a 3-0 third-period deficit to beat the Regina Pats 4-3. Connor Bedard's point streak ended at 12 games. Pats take on the Swift Current Broncos tonight at 8 p.m. on Access Now TV. We'll be calling it. In the earlier game, Darren's favorite team, the Saskatoon Blades, take on the Winnipeg Ice. Yep. He's not even arguing it now. Oh, here come all the Manitobans. Jeff Kabilis. Wheaties! From Dallas Federchuk. Wheat King Scout. Wheaties are rolling, Roddy. I can't even say that they're not. The Subway Cup may end up in Manitoba.
There's a good chance.
Taking its home in Manitoba. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Viewer takeover next, plus a face-off in overtime. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV. And 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Capital GMC is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 GMC Sierra, Terrain, and Acadia. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital GMC is Truck Nation at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, Would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Can't believe that our time together has come almost to an end so fast, Dupes. Hey?
Flying by.
It's when you're having fun, it goes fast.
I know.
Listen, before we get into the face-off, we got a viewer in Texas, Jed Arnott, writes in, he says, I'm 64, live in Texas, haven't worn a mask, go to work every day as do plenty of people. Why is Canada so scared? I'll be disappointed if the CFL doesn't get to it. Woo! Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just passing it along. Did they put it up on the screen? Can you put it up on the screen? That's there you go. That's the view in Texas of what they're living, what they're seeing. Jennifer Illingworth says, I'm wearing my Humboldt jersey today, and tomorrow is Green Shirt Day. So remember that for organ donation. I wish I could wear green on this set, but I can't because it wouldn't turn up as green. But I do have my Humboldt Broncos ball cap here for recognition today of the anniversary, the 3-year anniversary of the worst day in Saskatchewan history. You look like you've got something to say. No?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So we're going to delve off the deep end into the face-off for the Ultimate Fan Zone Moose Jaw and the Mad Greek. Now, Taylor Hall is not playing tonight for the Buffalo Sabres. And from just right now, from the notification I got from the Score, it doesn't say why, but it's expected that Taylor Hall will be traded prior to Monday's trade deadline. And maybe by the time you see this, he's not playing because he's been traded. The question is, in the face-off, would you take Taylor Hall on your team as a rental player down the line? I'll let you start today.
I absolutely would. And I know there's character issues that you talk about that, you know, is he a guy you want to add to your locker room? But I think anybody contending in the National Hockey League has good leadership. Without good leadership, I don't think you're going to be a contender. So I think if you've got a strong locker room, which all these contenders do, I'd be okay with it, because Taylor Hall, no matter how bad of a year he's having in Buffalo or how poor things went in Arizona, he's an incredibly talented hockey player. You don't just lose that. And when at his peak, he's a Hart Trophy candidate. He's a Hart Trophy winner. He's not that far removed from it. I think he helps your team. He absolutely does. You're maybe not expecting him to be a top player on your team, a number one. But if you're asking him to come into your top six and help you get over the hump, I absolutely would take a flyer on Taylor Hall.
Okay, so this kid just talked himself out of the right answer. The very first sentence out of your mouth was, doesn't matter if he has character issues. I'm not taking him on my team. If I've got a contending Stanley Cup team, why would I introduce that into my dressing room? I don't want anybody on my team with character issues, not in a delicate state like this, which Taylor Hall clearly has. So the answer, the correct one, is no.
Okay.
You hate when I do that, don't you?
I know. It's funny.
The face-off is for Mad Greek in Moose Jaw, available for licensed dining, takeout, or delivery. Head to the madgreekeatery.com for more information. And for the Ultimate Fan Zone, your one-stop shop for the sports fans on your list, visit the Man Cave, downtown Moose Jaw, or on Facebook. By the way, if you're watching those Moose Jaw Warriors games on television that we're calling, and you love that Warrior 3rd jersey, they've got it in the Ultimate Fan Zone.
I know.
I've been there multiple times.
So nice.
And very nice jersey. So, Anyways, in the time we have here, oh boy, keep the dirty comments to yourself on would you take Taylor Hall as a rental player. Clark put that up, and all kinds of comments are coming in. Jeff Kozak says he's traded too many times. It has to mean something. Clearly, yes. But by the way, I was on the radio in Winnipeg last week, CJOB, Manitoba's information superstation, with Cam Poitras, the host of Jets at Noon. And he asked if I thought Taylor Hall would be traded, and would you? And honestly, I said to him, the argument that you just said, you can't make him the guy.
Yeah.
And shoot, in Edmonton, they made him the captain. How did that work out? In Arizona, he was the guy. Didn't really work out there, although they did want to keep him, as you know.
Right.
Sabres have made him the guy, and he's had his worst year ever. So don't make him the guy. It's the supplementary role. Now, I still don't think I would trade for him, but I think he's going to be moved.
Yeah, if he's the guy, he's now responsible for creating that locker room culture, creating your identity, having those character skills. You go to a team that has leadership, that's already been addressed. And if you don't fit the culture, you won't play. So if he comes in and just has to fit another team's culture, I think that's a much better spot for him to be in.
Here we go. They're speaking up from Wayne in Victoria, BC. Sorry, Dupes, but I agree with Rod on this one. From Pinks, I'm with Rod on this one. Sorry, Dupes. From Tom Geiger, I'm with Rod. Hall has been bad in every locker room, according to past teammates. Met him once. I understand. Hey, it was very popular at the Craven Country Jamboree, I can tell you that. Legend has it. So at one time was I. Doesn't make him a bad guy.
Right.
He's a lot of fun at parties. But do you want him centering your top line with a letter on? I don't necessarily think so. Now Nelson Hackowitz saying word is he's headed to one of the two New York City teams. So they pulled him from the lineup because he's been moved. Oh, boy. Oh. Reunited with Ebbs with the Islanders? Oh!
Did they play in a line together in Edmonton?
They roomed together. Who cares if they played together? They lived together. Where do you think I get all my stories from? It's got to be the Rangers.
Yeah, Edmonton. I don't remember Edmonton winning in that era, so keep them away from Ebbs.
They blew it up.
Keep them away.
And they're still trying to figure it out. Keep talking. I'm looking at the stand.
No,
listen,
sure.
I call up the app, the score, and what comes up is MLB all the time because that's what I was on last.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
I'm into the Blue Jays. The Rangers are out of a playoff spot right now by 5 points. It's probably the Islanders. Wow. Isn't that something?
That is.
How about that?
How about that?
Okay, tomorrow, what do we... Oh, the dang... Who is it tomorrow? It's not on the screen. Jackie Redmond, Darren Dreger. That's going to be big. And Brandon Crowe. How about that? It's a week King's Day. Thank you today to Tim Leiper, Dusty Forbes, and all of you. We'll see you tomorrow and tonight at 8 Mountain for the Pats and the Broncos.
Are we brainless?
Yes.
Yes.